And now, News 4 at 5:30.
Talking the news at 5:30, we're a week and a day away from Shine Gold. It's an event that raises money for 4 pediatric cancer causes here in Western New York. And one of those causes is Wings Flights of Hope.
And thanks to the funding from Shine Gold, Wings is able to fly 2 little boys, Lucas and Everett, to treatment across the country. We are joined now by Lucas's mom, Dawn Roller, Wings founder and pilot. You know him, Joe DeMarco, of course, and Shine Gold's Kate Glazer. You guys, thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shine Gold is a really special event.
Yeah.
I'm really lucky to be your partner because I get to hear all about it. And it's one of those where it's an event that kind of moves mountains. I know how emotional it is for everybody there, but the fact is it does tremendous work for local families. Can we talk a little bit about Shine Gold first?
Yeah, I mean, September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, and prior to us kind of raising the flag, for lack of better terms, we didn't really see much about childhood cancer and that yellow ribbon. So obviously everyone knows that pink ribbon for breast cancer, but our biggest mission was to get that yellow ribbon recognized. And then with that comes fundraising, right? So for us to be able to fundraise for little boys like that Lucas and other kids locally, there are a lot of kids locally fighting cancer.
Dawn, your son is one of them, and he is getting flown by Joe here of Wings Flights of Hope. If people don't know what Wings Flights of Hope is, it is just that. They fly patients, young and old, across the country for treatment options across the country. And Joe will talk a little more about that. But I want you to talk about your son, Lucas. And he is best friends with little Everett as well, which we're seeing photos and videos of. How thankful are you to Joe here and Wings for flying you guys to these treatments?
I don't even know if I have the words to thank Joe for everything he's doing for my family, and I can speak on behalf of Everett's family as well because we're very good friends. If it wasn't for, I'm trying not to cry, if it wasn't for Joe taking us,
Wings.
and Wings of Hope, taking us to New York City to Sloan, both of them had life-saving surgeries and treatment purposes and everything. And we're not just limited to here. We were able to get the best treatment. And if you have a child, you want the absolute best treatment you possibly can for your kid. And Wings of Hope makes it possible. And not just for us, for a lot of families. And I'm sure I can speak on behalf of other families as well. We're very thankful for just being able to, you know, I mean, it's life-saving.
Yeah.
Joe, you heard it in her voice just there, that exhale, because what you do is provide not only transportation, so a tactile thing to these treatments, life-saving treatments, you provide comfort.
Right,
And that's got to feel good.
That's what's so rewarding for us to be able to fly Lucas and Everett, and also to give them hope. The very first flight with each one of them, I showed them pictures of kids we flew in 2011, 2012, and 2013 that are all teenagers now. So it gives them hope that,
Nice, Joe.
you know, there's hope for them. And her son was the first one that ever told me in 6,400 flights if I could please fly upside down. And you'll see him flying
And you did
the
it,
plane
right,
there.
Joe?
And then you see the video where you see a little guy come up and smile. So Lucas was the first co-pilot, and of course, when I picked up Everett shortly after, he heard all about that, and he kept asking me before I even had the plane started, "Can I come up front and be the co-pilot?" I said, "Well, give me a few minutes to get out of New York's airspace."
Yeah, right.
But that's the rewards we get, you know, being part of their flight and giving them hope. And obviously, our flights are all free with all volunteers. That's the best part.
Shine Gold generally raises, I don't know, Kate, if you want me to say a number, but it's generally over $100,000. So each of these organizations gets $25,000 or more. What would at least $25,000 do for you guys at Wings? Because I know it's a struggle with the gas, with the upkeep of all these planes, doing it all for free.
Yeah, that's huge for us. We usually don't have donations in that amount, so I was just telling Kate that, you know, we'll probably put that in our airplane fund because we're trying to upgrade a plane, and we're about 2/3 of the way there thanks to the generosity of our community. So we're hoping we want to just upgrade one of the planes from a piston to a jet prop so we could go a little faster, climb faster, be more efficient, and I think it'd be a great asset for Wings.
It seems like we're building on positivity here. Here we're raising money for a local organization so that they can do more and save more people and transport more families. I mean, that's kind of what it's all about, right, Kate?
Yeah, it's amazing, and it doesn't just take our committee or our volunteers. It's really the entire community. We've raised over $100,000 so far, not even going into the night, and that's because people believe in organizations like Wings Flights of Hope and other organizations that we've supported. Since launching, we've supported 16 organizations locally. So we want to keep spreading the love and supporting families like Everett and Lucas and Maxton, who you saw on the photos as well. So.
Can you talk a little bit about Lucas and Everett and what they're fighting? Because I don't think we've pointed that out yet.
So both boys were diagnosed at the beginning of May with high-risk neuroblastoma, and it's called high risk because it has a very high risk of reoccurrence. So we need to have more of an aggressive approach to treat it, and the goal is to cure it. So we need to do more intense treatments and therapies and everything like that.
And Don, you said something at the beginning of this I thought that was really important, is that, people who are fighting an illness as a family, whether it's a child or an adult, whomever, they fight it, and maybe their world is only as big as whatever treatment is offered in their region. You talked about this at the very beginning, saying this opened up your medical world of possibilities. How much of a relief was just that, knowing that you weren't all of a sudden constrained by where you live?
Well, as a parent, you're petrified, and first thing I started doing is researching other hospitals and everything, and what other options do I have? Because I want to be able to lay my head down at night knowing I did everything possible for my child, because he is my world and everything, and I'm sure every single parent can relate to that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Let's get the details out there, Kate, of Shine Gold. It is next Wednesday at Fox Valley Country Club in Lancaster. Tell us how people can get involved.
So tickets, if you would like to come to our event, we are looking to sell more tickets, $75, $10 for kids. This really is a kids event with adults invited. I always say there's so much for kids to do. We're supporting little Keely there. You can see her on the screen. And we're really trying to sell tickets, of course, sponsorships. If you want to get involved, you're a business or a company, you see this and you want to share the love, please reach out to Hope Rises.
Yep, there are 4 organizations that we are helping this year. That is Wings Flights of Hope and Joe here, Keely Cares for Kids, the Michael Napoleon Memorial Foundation, and Camp Good Days. So your money, including that $75 ticket, will go toward all those 4 organizations, and it goes a really long way, as we just heard.
That's great.
And Kelsey, if I could just add that what people don't realize, why people just don't take commercial flight, we're flying them with a germ-free environment. So anybody that's compromised, that's how I got started 21 years ago. I was a 2-year-old, and the mother just broke down, and their doctor told them no public transportation. So, and then she could tell you, we make it easy. We walk out to the plane and we're on our way. So.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great job.
There's
Thank
no
you.
security you
Yeah.
have to go through, and you can fly at a lower altitude if there's any issues in regards to that as well.
And that's what makes us be able to fly, because Lucas, he's so immune compromised.
Yeah.
And if we went on a commuter plane, I don't know, he could catch, especially when he is so neutropenic, meaning that his levels are so low.
All right, thank you all
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Support Shine Gold next Wednesday.
Good job.